Good evening. I'd like to call the regular session, February 8th, 2023, into session at 6 o'clock p.m. Roll call, please.
Mrs. DeCapua, President.
Here.
Mr. Atway, Vice President.
Here.
Mr. Campbell. Mr. Smallwood.
Here.
Mr. Wilkerson.
Here.
Please let the record show Mr. Campbell is absent this evening. Oh my God, Jean? Really? Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, the pledge of the flag, please.
Thanks, Gene.
Where's the flag?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this, can everybody hear me? Mr. Russo, can you hear me? Okay. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Joe Knoll, our superintendent, for his update.
Thanks. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here in person, or if you're joining us online, welcome as well. So, wow, hey, I want to start with this. I don't know if you saw this. This was actually front page of the Vindicator, okay, coming into work on Monday. A great opportunity for our high school students here. We got word that our chem crew was one of 60 teams selected by NASA to participate in a pretty cool experiment in a balloon going 70,000 feet in the air. We were given $1,500. As you can see, working with Mr. Slavin, who was our teacher. They're going to be creating and growing some crystals. Going to put it in this box, going to put it up there, and we're going to see what happens to it in that altitude moving forward. So really cool experience. This won't happen until the summer. That's the only bad thing. But we'll probably have some kind of little watch party or something when it all happens. But really, really cool activity, and just really excited for our kids. As you can see, Mr. Moldovan weighed in. Now, Mr. Moldovan's an English guy, and his use of terms isn't an oxymorphon, nor is it iambic pentameter, nor is it one of my favorite, an aphorism. However, the phrase over the moon is an awesome example of an idiom. So well played, Mr. Moldovan. Well done. He is over the moon with excitement, just so you know. This week is Counselor Appreciation Week, and I've talked a lot about the heartening piece of my personal philosophy, making connections with kids, meeting that mental health and wellness component. And we have 5 great gals right there that we just want to take time this week to thank them, and you can see their names there. This counselor job has changed over my 35 years in education, trust me. It's changed a ton. They wear a lot of hats, but we want to take this opportunity to thank them for their body of work, and personally for meeting that heartening piece that I think is so critical for our students across the district. And we have a proclamation to be read in their honor at this time. So for our counselors, please. Mr. Kaplan, you have that one?
I do.
Awesome.
Proclamation to recognize school counselor, February 8th, 2023. Whereas school counselors are employed in public and private schools to help students reach their full potential. And whereas school counselors are actively committed to helping students explore their abilities, strengths, interests, and talents as these traits relate to career awareness and development. And whereas school counselors help parents focus on ways to further the educational, personal, and social growth of their children. And whereas school counselors work with teachers and other educators to help students explore their potential and set realistic goals for themselves. And whereas school counselors seek to identify and utilize community resources that can enhance and complement comprehensive school counseling programs and help students become productive members of society. And whereas comprehensive developmental school counseling programs are considered an integral part of the educational process that enables all students to achieve success in school. Therefore, I, Joseph A. Knoll, do hereby proclaim February 6th through the 10th, 2023 as National School Counseling Week. And I'd like to congratulate each one of our counselors. Personally, professionally, they do a phenomenal job.
100% agree. Thank you. And we appreciate you, ladies. Hope you're tuning in. All right, so that was the heartening piece. This is the hardening piece. All right, these are our school resource officers. And February 15th is a day to honor them. And we have two, as you know. You can see Officer Gartzka to your left and Officer Zamuda to your right. And like I said, I've talked a lot about this, the heartening and the hardening piece. These guys fill all of those silos. Everything they do, okay, and one of the few people in this district that could say this, they meet all those needs across the board. So in honor of our SROs and their appreciation day, Mr. Atway, I believe, has a proclamation to read for them.
I do. I've got that privilege. So the proclamation to recognize the school, SROs, whereas the National Association of School Resource Officers is dedicated to making schools and children safer by providing highest quality training to school-based law enforcement officers, and whereas school resource officers bridge gaps between youth and law enforcement and embrace a triad concept of school policing, serving in informal counseling, education, and law enforcement roles to support students and communities they serve. And whereas by training law enforcement officers to counsel, educate, and protect school communities, the men and women of NASRO continuously lead by example and promote a positive image of law enforcement to school children and school communities. And whereas resource officers are valuable and essential members of the education community and deserve unwavering respect and support from the public in pursuit of keeping schools and students safe. And now, therefore, the Canfield Local Schools and Superintendent Joseph A. Knoll do hereby recognize and appreciate your own SROs, Steve Garska and Josh Zamuda, on February 15th, 2023, National SRO Day, and throughout the school year.
Thank you. And I tell you what, these guys, in my years of experience, their roles have changed a ton too. You guys all know how important school safety is, and these guys help me lead the way when it comes to keeping our staff and students safe here in Canfield. So, men, we thank you and appreciate you as well. So I talked last month about our Military Appreciation Night, and that was held on January 27th, and I just have a couple pictures here. I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Campbell, who's actually working tonight at a conference, but he stepped in here as a representative for the board and helped us on that Military Appreciation Night. It was a great day. In the middle there, you can see our choir and the pep band, they participated. And we had a great opportunity to acknowledge not only our military personnel in Canfield, but also in Austintown, who we were playing that night. We had a packed house, so it was a great event. And once again, wanted to thank everybody for their help and participation in that evening. Just wanted to give you a quick update on our facility planning, just to let you know kind of where we're at. I talked about our visiting session that was going to be held on January 23rd. We had it. We had 60 plus community members, stakeholders down to a la carte, had a great day, full day, but we got a lot of work done. One of the first things that we did is we put together what we called guiding principles, and we ended up basically with 5 bullet items, and it started out with our district's educational environment will include the following when it comes to facilities. First one, be safe, secure, and welcoming. Not only for the physical building, because as you know, the first line of safety and security is the facility itself. Not only that, but also looking at the health and well-being of all the users, which to me, as you guys have heard me talk, real passionate about the mental health and wellness piece, and I was glad our group felt that was important as well. The second one, our educational environment will provide flexibility, adaptability, and collaboration in the teaching, learning, and technology, and all those spaces to support the whole child. The third thing was our educational environment will create spaces to support a variety of learning styles and programming. Continue with Canfield's excellence when it comes to academics, but also look down the road, okay? Create those lifelong learners. Our environment will foster community engagement, provide accessibility and functional use spaces that can serve our community. And to me, this was a big one. If I don't have kids coming here, okay, I'm past that season in my life. What's in it for me, okay? What can we do to draw those community members into these new facilities? And then finally, be fiscally responsible, okay? Look to attract and retain families and be sustainable moving forward. So this was a great activity for us to kind of get us focused moving forward. We also talked about how do we connect with our community better? And for me, that communication piece is always important. You know, we're trying 100 different things to get the word out, but what else could we do? So here's what our group of people said. Continue to be transparent of this whole master planning process in the financial part of it. And I'm going to talk about our website later, but we are putting everything that we say and do on that website for you all to take a look at, okay? Presentations, any of the meetings that we have. Educate when decisions are made. Make sure we get the word out. Engage staff and alumni to help us with that. Communicate the project benefits to all the audiences, and especially the senior population. Okay, folks that I talk about that don't actually have kids coming. Make sure we're out talking to them. Get factual information on Facebook. All right, and I know that's a tough sell. All right, that social media is hard, but we got to work better, harder on getting the facts out there, especially when things are there that are said that aren't accurate. Okay, we got to make sure we're able to do that. Emphasize the tradition of Canfield. Keep focused on that, and encourage everybody to get on board, be part of the cause. So the last thing we did that day was we said, hey, put together a master plan in small groups. Let us know what you think we should do here in Canfield. It was a great activity, about 45 minutes, and we reported out. So here's what we heard that day from that visioning session. We heard, in no specific order yet, we want a new consolidated PK4. We want a new middle school. And we want to put some renovations in this high school. Those were the three things. And the bottom one, we said, if you had to pick one today, where would you tell me to go as superintendent? What that group said is, our middle school is the priority, okay? And understand, I don't know if you can see the fine print to the right, but those dollar amounts that we gave there, those are not all inclusive, okay? That's just to build the building, but you've got abatement, you've got demolition, site acquisition, all kinds of stuff to go there too. So we made sure everybody knew that. Some other things that came up, not quite as many times, was let's talk about a pre-K-8. Let's talk about keeping Hilltop where it's at and doing some renovations and adding on over there for elementary. And then we had some folks that said, let's go all in. Give me a new pre-K-12. All right? So that's what came up at that educational visiting session. And now that has moved over to our facility committee meetings. And we have a couple board members that have been attending. I've been going to all those. We just had one again last night. And you can see the meetings that are coming. And we threw some of the same things at this group to have some of the same conversations. This was our agenda. I talked about what properties does the district own, okay, what are some possibilities to put buildings, and then we did that master plan idea. We wrote that out for them again and then reported out. So I started with this, okay, obviously we have the 4 buildings and their sites, and then up here at the top, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's the Shields Road property, okay? That's some other property that the district owns as well. So I chatted a little bit about how many acres are on each, how many square feet the buildings have, that kind of good stuff. And then we had our group do the same thing. Sit down in small groups of 6 and come up with some master plans. Not necessarily on a site, but just go through the process. Well, lo and behold, those things look very familiar, all right? Pre-K4, new middle, grades 5 to 8, and renovate the high school, okay? Was what came out of that meeting last night as well. So some similarities. Now that group's got a lot of work to do here in the next month or so, okay? It's to actually try to come up with a master plan moving forward, try to get consensus. So as I mentioned, all this good stuff is on our webpage. If you go there and where this arrow's pointing, it says facility project. If you click on that, you get this page and everything we do and say is on there. So I know it's hard to get to meetings. We've had some folks that just can't do it, and I get that. But I just ask that you just go here, keep engaged, make sure you know what's going on, and as always, feel free to give me a holler, okay? Give me a call, email. Be glad to answer any questions you might have as we continue on. So that will do it. I appreciate your time.
At this time, I would like to bring up our principals for a very special part of our meeting that we have all come to look forward to. So, Mr. Moldovan, what do you have for us?
Steven, come on up. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Mike Moldovan, principal of Canfield High School, and we are at the point of the board meeting where we present our Rotary Students of the Month for each building, and I'd like to present mine from the high school. This gentleman to my left here, I'm going to give this to you here, Stephen. This is Stephen Maschak, and he is the Canfield High School Rotary Student of the Month for February. So we're very, very excited. Stephen is a wonderful kid. 3.9 grade point average, takes all kind of advanced classes, great GPA, like I said, involved in NHS, National Honor Society, Leo's Club, Student Council, Y-Team's vice president, he's on the baseball team. I could read off his accomplishments and things like that, but this is what really means something. Here are some of his teachers, okay? This is Mr. Race, who I believe is your AP Gov teacher, is that right? And this is what Mr. Race has to say. I'm sorry, this is what Mr. Ruark has to say. Did I say Race? I said Race. It's Ruark, I apologize. Listen to some of these words from these teachers. Stephen is a dedicated learner with a drive to succeed and challenges himself in all areas. He was always thoughtful with his responses, respectful in his interactions with others. He's a natural and charismatic leader in the classroom, and he is always ready with a lighthearted comment to add to discussions. I'm not so sure what that means, but that's a good thing. Okay. Wonderful student, but more importantly, he is an excellent young man. He is kind, caring, respectful in all his relationships. Mrs. Kalina, who's his counselor, says this: well liked by his peers and teachers for his warmth and sense of responsibility. One can depend upon Stephen. As a member of the Young Leaders, I have always been able to count on Stephen to help and to help others participate. Stephen's ability to be engaged in the moments allows other members and those he is serving to feel appreciated. He places value on the experience of truly helping others in his community. Those words mean more than any thing you'll see on a transcript or a grade or anything else like that. His favorite subject is science. He says he lives with grandparents along with his mom, dad, and two brothers, and I think another brother's here too, which is kind of a first for Canfield local schools, and I'm sure Mr. Rubin will have a lot to say about that. But they like to watch movies, they like to watch Netflix. Stephen wants to go to medical school. He wants to travel to Mexico. He's already been to Italy twice. I'm jealous. And I think you've got family in Italy, right? You got family there? That's great. He likes to fish and listen to music. This is one of the great parts of my job, is to be able to introduce and interact with wonderful, wonderful young people. He's a credit to his school community, but most importantly to his family and his parents. Congratulations to the Maschaks and Stephen. Fantastic.
Congratulations, Maschak family, and on one of those trips to Italy, feel free to take extra baggage, you know. Mr. Rubin.
Good evening. My name is Judd Rubin. I'm the principal of Canfield Village Middle School, and I'm proud to present Michael Maschak as our Rotary Student of the Month for December. So, welcome him. We're having him come up. This was just an absolute coincidence that we don't no
This
plans.
was not planned?
Not planned
I think the
whatsoever,
Maschak
so-
family needs to play the lottery. That's what
Okay,
it is. I mean,
all
the
right.
odds of this happening, that's pretty impressive.
Again, Michael, we're just blessed to have him in our building, and the whole family is just a wonderful family. This is from one of his teachers. Michael's always been an outstanding young man. He leads silently, is well respected by both his peers and teachers in the building. Michael also assisted in our strategic plan during that day. He helped with, had some great insight from the adults that were around him, and they were very impressed with him. And also, one of my favorite things is when I see brothers and sisters in the building, and Michael always looks after his little brother Joe over there. Hi, Joe. And it makes my heart warm when I see that, just making sure that the siblings are taken care of. They have a wonderful family, and one of his favorite subjects is math. It's always been like that since elementary. He lives with his grandparents, two brothers, and then Joe and Stephen. And he enjoys spending time with his family. He's not sure what career path, but he wants to go to college and be able to provide for his family. And he enjoys playing baseball, video games, again, spending time with friends and mostly being outside and spending time with family. So we're proud to have Michael Maschek as our Rotary Student of the Month.
So Maschek, I'm sorry, Steve, come on up because I think this is like a thing. We need another picture, the brothers. I think we need the brothers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is definitely a first.
This is a first, so, you know, we have to like document all the firsts. There we go. I know. Act like you like each other. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Again, congratulations to the whole family. And Mr. Flood, who do we have today?
Good evening. Michael Flood, Principal at Hilltop. I'd like to introduce Bobby Batcha, our Student of the Month at Hilltop. Parents are Robert and Joan Batcha. Mom is heavily involved in the PTA and sits on our PBIS team. So very proud to have Bobby up here. I'm going to read what Mrs. Cackley, the fourth grade teacher, had to say about Bobby. Bobby is a model student. He is self-driven, disciplined, and participates in class discussion. He's willing to help others and is dependable. Bobby is known for making good choices throughout his years at Hilltop. He's adored by teachers and friends. He constantly performs well academically and is involved in basketball and football outside of school. Bobby has a great sense of humor and keeps a positive attitude. When asked what Bobby's favorite subject, it's math, because he said he's pretty good. It's fun to do. Very entertaining. When he grows up, he likes to be an NFL player or a pilot and likes to travel to Europe. Bobby likes to play on his free time, basketball and football. Outstanding kid, one of our bus leaders. We just want to say congratulations, Bobby, for Student Rotary of the Month at Hilltop.
Bobby and the Botchas, congratulations. I'll fly on your plane, Bobby. Mr. Lavery.
Hi there, my name is Travis Lavery. I'm the principal at C.H. Campbell Elementary School here in Canfield. And I'd like to welcome Vinny Molesky as our Rotary Student of the Month for February. Vinny, there's a lot that you can say about him. He is a great all-around student, academically, always completing all of his assignments, putting forth the best effort that he possibly can. But the thing that's most important is his kindness shows through in everything that he does, and that's the thing that stands out the most. It was interesting, as Mrs. Benson was observing the first day and students coming in, there was a little buzz in the classroom where everybody was saying, hey, Vinny's in this class, Vinny's in this class. And that's just a testament to the fact that if you're kind to others and you're willing to make that connection, they're gonna be excited and you're gonna have a lot of great friends. Vinny loves math, and he has a very large family, and they are here today celebrating with him. He has 3 dogs and a turtle. He loves going on vacations, going to Disney World, Myrtle Beach, Anna Maria Island, loves hanging out at the swim club in the summer, and just recently has started riding ATVs as well, which sounds like a lot of fun. In the future, he's hoping to be a professional basketball player, and if you ever see him out on the court, it's definitely a real possibility for him. He does a great job out there. And he also would love one day to meet Darius Garland from the Cleveland Cavs. He loves basketball, he loves playing video games, and most of all loves spending time with his family and friends. And he also has a special talent where he is able to say the ABCs backwards. Could come in handy someday, you never know.
Not many people can do
So,
that.
with that being said, I'd like to welcome and honor our Rotary Student of the Month, Vinny Molesky.
Congratulations, Vinnie. Maluskis, congratulations. Awesome job. For those of you who would like to leave, please feel free. We do not require you stay for the rest of the meeting.
We know it's a school.
I recommend you don't. Anyway, the next up is our presentation of minutes, which we have all gotten ahead of time and reviewed from January 19th. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to approve those minutes from January 19th.
So moved, Wilkerson.
I'll second.
Any discussion? And roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. Okay, at this time, do we have any public comment? Anyone signed up for public comment? No. We do not have any public comment, so we will move on. Thank you very much. New business. Mr. Knoll, I'm gonna turn this over to
All right.
you.
Sounds good. So under personnel, we need to accept some resignations of our licensed staff. Anna Liggett Fox, grade 8 teacher at the middle school, effective June 1, 2023. Ian Arducci, grade 2 teacher at Hilltop, effective July 1 of 2023. And Karen Hummer, high school German teacher, effective March 1 of 2023. Also under resignations for classified, Dana Fair, our special needs aide at Hilltop, effective February 20 of 2023. I'd like to approve some classified subs, Ruth Garcias and Catherine Geisler, under exhibit number 3, Tiffany Manger and Melissa Sevenich. And also like to recommend the hiring of our extracurriculars, those resolutions 114-2023 and 115-2023 on an exhibit 4. All those individuals as presented.
Okay, based upon the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to approve the following? New business, personnel, accepting resignations for licensed and classified, and approving classified substitutes, 3A through 3D, and hiring of all extracurriculars in Exhibit 4.
So moved, Smallwood. Second, Wilkerson.
Is there any discussion? Questions? Roll call?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Okay, I'd also like to recommend the adoption of the 2023-24 school calendar. And I popped that in your, to your Google Drive, exhibit number 5.
Okay, based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to adopt our 23-24 school calendar?
So moved, Smallwood.
I'll second.
Do we have any discussion on this?
Maybe just a couple high-level comments.
Yes,
Very
please.
similar to this year. Start for a few days, take some time off for the fair. One thing that we did change for next year with some input from our teaching staff is our elementary folks would like to do their conferences in one night, like the high school and middle school does. It's gonna be a late night for them, but we're gonna give that a try. You can see our Christmas break. You can also see November 27th is gonna be our first of 2 PD days for next year. Mr. Vito and his PD committee, I think we can get our body of work done in 2, so November 27th will be 1. And then following our Christmas break, January the 2nd would be our second PD day. And the good news is with Christmas break and spring break, our last day is May 30th for kids. So we'll get done before June for next year, so.
So, from the so we've added 2 PD days?
Yeah, 27th, November 22, and January 2nd are our 2 PD days for next year.
And then high school graduation is 20.
We're looking at graduation next year on Sunday. Mr. Malvaughn and I have had a lot of conversation with that. The problem we run into sometimes on the weekend is a good problem. Our athletic teams are competing either at sectionals, regionals, or state.
So what's the date on grad?
Graduation is Sunday, May 26th.
Will this be the first time we've done a Sunday graduation?
No, actually, I think that used to be the protocol.
We always
So
do.
Saturdays
It
are
got,
not.
it got moved, and then we had, well, since I've been here, then we had COVID. And then we
did
had rain.
Fridays.
We we had rain one time as well, so kind of been all over the place. And we do go outside. Yeah, we do go outside.
So is there a rain date, or we're just gonna,
Yeah, we
move
kinda play
inside
that by
again?
ear.
We're back into
Yeah.
moving inside.
Yeah, what we've, I think probably what Mr. Baldwin would do is if it rains that day, we just move in on Sunday.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please. Oops, sorry.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to recommend adoption of resolution number 110-2023. That's membership into the OHSAA for the 23-24 school year in Exhibit 6.
Based on the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 110-2023, membership into the OHSAA?
So move Smallwood. Second, Wilkerson.
Any discussion? I'd just like to say that this is an annual resolution. Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And number 4, I'd like to recommend adoption of resolution number 111-2023 to initiate procedures under Ohio law for the retirement and reemployment of a teaching/administrative employee on Exhibit 7.
Based upon the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to adopt 111-2023 to initiate procedures for rehire of a teaching administrative employee?
So
So-
move Smallwood.
I'll second.
Discussion. Roll call?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
And number 5, I'd like to recommend adoption resolution number 112-2023 for a community reinvestment area exemption for certain real property improvements to benefit 485 West Main Street LLC. That was Exhibit 8.
Based upon the recommendation, I'm sorry, I lost that, my train of thought there. Based upon the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 112-2023, a CRA exemption for real estate within the city of Canfield at 485 West Main?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? I'd just like to say that I know this property, and I know I fought very hard with the rest of you for CRA to not include new home builds, which the city did uphold. And we did say we had no problem with business in those meetings. Just a FYI, this business, he has done an amazing job with this lot. If you ever knew where the Evergreen Motel was, this is where that was, and this is the property that is looking for that CRA exemption from us. So I just wanted to say, good job with rehabbing that property. It needed to be rehabbed.
And I think to the extent we can help facilitate more business coming in, I mean, it's good for the schools because it brings in, eventually property taxes without necessarily bringing kids with them, so it's kind of fun
Correct,
money for
and
us.
it's an improvement within the city, so. Any more discussion? May I have roll call, please?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes.
I'd like to recommend adoption of resolution number 113-2023 for the Design Architects as the architect and authorizing an agreement for design services for the high school secure vestibule project. That was Exhibit 9.
Based upon the recommendation of our superintendent, may I have a motion to adopt resolution 113-2023, TDA, as the architect authorizing our vestibule project at CHS?
So move Smallwood. Second, Wilkerson.
Any discussion?
Well, let me just say, I've been talking about this since my arrival, and excited that we're gonna get this going. One of the nice things is we're gonna be able to use some of our safety grant money. We're actually, a big part of it, towards that project out of our 100,000. So, it's gonna be a really good use of those dollars, but, just for a safer environment for our high school as well. So, we're hoping to get the project going this summer and get it done. That's the goal.
So completion over the summer would be possible? I mean,
That's
I
the
know
goal.
that's the
Yes,
goal,
sir.
so that's okay, that's
Yes,
the goal.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. If things work timing-wise and
Okay.
materials and all that good stuff. But thank you for allowing me to get a head start on it. Now is a great time to get the ball rolling. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm sorry, roll call.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. At this time, would our treasurer,
Yeah.
or Mr. Vito, or, okay,
Our
whoever would
donation-
like to read our donations.
Our donations. Canfield Rotary Association, $1,000. CHS Robotic Team. SIP Tepe Architects LLC, $250. CHS Robotics Team. Chipotle Mexican Grill, $192.51. CHS Robotics Team. Canfield Speech and Debate Boosters, $1,250. CHS Speech and Debate Fund and Upper St. Clair Tournament. Box Tops for Education, $143.70 to the CH Campbell Principals Fund, for total cash donations of $2,836.21.
Okay, that is a very nice donation month. May I have a motion to approve those donations as read by Mr. Vito?
So moved. Wilkerson.
Second, Smallwood.
Any discussion? As always, I would just like to thank all of those who donate to any program or event here at Canfield Local School District. Thank you very much. It is very much appreciated. Really can't tell you how much that money is used to the best of our ability. So thank you very, very much. Roll call, please.
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. Okay, at this time, I would like a motion to move into executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee.
So move, Smallwood.
Second, Wilkerson.
Let the record show that we will be entering into executive session at 6:37 PM. At this time, roll call?
Mr. Atway?
Yes.
Mr. Smallwood?
Yes.
Mr. Wilkerson?
Yes.
Mrs. DeCapua?
Yes. At this time, we will be back. I'm not sure when. You are more than welcome to stay. At the time we come back, I cannot tell you whether there will be no decision that will be put out there to the public at this time. So, thank you. Okay, it is now 8:15. We are back from executive session. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, Smallwood.
Roll call? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Good night.
Have a good evening, everybody.